Hello, welcome. Yes, Edith's here. No school today for Edith. Welcome to this week's mental health chat. What are you doing?
Remember?
Yeah, I'm streaming. This is my stream. This is not your stream today.
No.
Mondays are your stream, okay? You just sit there and throw noodles down your gullet. Okay? Anyway. Here for a mental health stream. Chat a few things. Not sure what we're going to chat about, but we'll go. Hello, cute lion. Cute lion.
Who is he?
I have no idea.
And who is he?
This is where I should remember things like this, but I can't think who Good Lion is. I know who Wev is. Oh, hang on, my volume's really low. That'll be because that's over there. Is that better? Hello, Crip.
Hello, Crip.
Is this better now?
Is it better now? Could be that. Yeah.
Excellent. I left the mic over there. It was way over there. I do need to get a better one. It is only a cheap mic. So I've got to be like really close to it. I'll set my gain up and then I'll get loads of background noise and stuff like that. So, yeah. In my head a bit this week, through various things. I spoke about on the podcast. Actually, you'll hear it when the podcast is out today. You'll hear it. We're looking as a family to move back up north. Our life's getting back together financially, and things like that at the moment. And we've decided that we need to get out of this flat. It's tiny. I'll do a tour one day. It is tiny. So this where you're looking at is look. I can do this. Look, this is the living room. Let me just bring this up. So look, this is the living room. There we go. It's also the dining room. This table here is where the kids eat. It's also the playroom because that's where the toys are.
Dad!
It's my office. Look, there's all my son's trophies and stuff like that as well.
Dad, can someone
all stuff up there. Now, the problem we get, and the kitchen through there, the problem we get...
Stop down your mic. It's on my way.
Oh no, you're in the mic's way. Have you finished your lunch?
No.
Wait, hang on, I need that so they can hear me. So the problem we've got in here is that this room is our living room, our dining room, our play room, our entertainment room, our relaxation room, our work room, office, sometimes bedroom, and then we've got 2 bedrooms. One for my son, who's 13, so needs his own room. You know why, as he gets older. So Edith shares with us. Converted cot is basically next to our bed, and she sits in there. Sleeps in there, rather. And it's crowded. And while at 3 years old, it's just about okay, as she gets older, it starts to get weird. So the option becomes, what happens? Does she stay with us and that's weird? Or as she's like 4 and 5, does she share with what will then be a 14, 15-year-old brother, who is definitely going to want alone time? And yeah, so we need to move out regardless. And rent prices in Chelmsford are ridiculous. We're looking at, we can... Yeah, I've had that before, where we've had a property and that the dining room became a bedroom. Good. I'm glad you're able to sort something out. Basically, I was getting to that, Crip. I was getting to that. We'll come to it. Just calm yourself. But yeah, just give it to the folks. We're all on top of each other. It's a middle floor flat. They don't have a garden they can use, which is not great for my son because he can't practice his hockey properly out there, can't take his shots, and all kinds of things like that. Let's say, well, if you get it, you know. Right, okay, got it. Sorry, Wev, yes. So you know how hard it is, and it's not fair on the kids. And I'm sure it's the same with you. It's you feel mainly guilty because it's not fair on the kids. And other things, we lack privacy ourselves. We get so. Do you see that door there? Basically, that gives a direct line of sight from the sofa there through to my son's bedroom. That's not healthy for anyone. So when Edith is asleep in the bedroom, Lucas is in his bedroom, and we're in there, you can't have quiet. We can't have the TV up too loud, and other things become awkward. So, sorry?
That door.
Yeah, he's at school now, that's fine. So everything gets a bit awkward. Anyway. But yeah, so we need to move out. A 3-bedroom house here, we are looking, unless we want to move to a really bad area, we are looking at around £1,500 per month. Double the price what we're paying now. We're paying $750 for this flat. And the only reason we're paying, this sounds crazy saying this, the only reason it's that low is because our landlord's great. She is absolutely wonderful. She's never put our rent up. She does what we need to get done and stuff like that. It's just too small. She even looked at the idea of being able to make one of the cupboards or split a room to try and make a 3rd room and stuff like that. She's looked at the idea for us. And again, rent has never gone up. Similar sort of places are looking at $950 here just for a 2-bedroom flat. So you can see the situation we're in. So my son, Lucas, was born in Liverpool. Technically, he was born in Knowsley in Wiston, but it'll do. Same hospital as Steven Gerrard, football fans.
That when he was little, he did have Talking Tom.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
When he was little, he had Talking Tom. Yes.
Where was he
And
when he was
we moved for various reasons. I think I've gone into the reasons why we moved before, but we did move. We came down south, but it's just not working now. If we want to move out, we need to have a place we can afford, and we can get a 3-bedroom house in Liverpool for less than what we're paying here now.
Dad, take your head.
Oh, no, I'm talking, Edith.
Dad, just take them off for a minute.
Hang on 2 seconds. What?
Just take them off.
What?
When I was baby, I did Mummy tummy.
Yeah, I know. When you was a baby, you was in Mummy's tummy, yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Was that all you wanted to share?
No.
What else?
When Doris said he was in Mummy tummy too.
Yes, I know. Not at the same time, though.
No.
No. Right. Can I carry on now?
Yeah.
Thank you. And this is why, prime example of why we need the space, because she's got nowhere else to play. So she's on top of me here. But anyway, yeah, we can get a 3-bedroom place for less than what we're paying here. For about the same price, I can get a 4-bedroom place in Liverpool, and I can convert a room into a studio, into an office, and do more for this. So that's a decision we've made as a family. Took a little bit of convincing from my son, because he's at that age where he's starting to really make friends. He's got his hockey here, he's got his football, and he needed a bit of convincing. We had to show him that he can still do ice hockey. Because he can go to Widnes and do ice hockey. Football, we're in the northwest. There's football like the second you step outside your front door, so that's not a problem. And most of his friends he communicates with on the Xbox anyway, so he's on board with it. Daughter's on board with it. Don't have family up there though. My family, I was born in I was born in Harold Wood in Essex, and grew up here on the Mardyke estate, actually, which not many people know, but it had a reputation for being a bit dodgy. But yeah, the move is happening. We are going to move to Liverpool. We've got friends up there, people who we can lean on to help us get things done and things like that. So we're not totally alone. And this is a decision that's been coming for about 18 months. And it's not something we've rushed into based on a weekend away. It was a decision we came to based on the final decision based on the weekend away. We need to move out, and for us, it's the only option. Or we could go Sheffield, Hull, get a mansion in Grimsby for what we're paying now. There are other options, but I like Liverpool. There's loads there. There's loads on our doorstep. And the stuff we was able to do with my boy, with Lucas, up there when he was, just before we moved, when he was Edith's age, we can't do with Edith down here. There's less. Everything's more expensive to get to. And the other option we looked at was... I will respond to comments, by the way. Sorry for that. Actually, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Because I'll see them more. Let's copy that. There we go. Hopefully we can start seeing that chat box pop up. There we go. That hopefully will help. Sorry, so I've lost my chain of thought. What was I saying? I have no idea what I was saying. I've completely lost my chain of thought. So I'm just going to pick up on some of the comments. Wicked Kitten definitely makes sense financially. Yeah, it does. That was it. There's still work up there. My partner can get work in residential healthcare up there quite easily. And with me moving into mental health, I looked locally around Chelmsford, and there was very little. There were jobs, but you get the feeling that it was going to be too much of a competition for someone trying to just get into it at the start. There's loads in London, loads and loads of mental health positions in London, but it would cost me, on average, probably about £20 to £30 a day just to get into London to work. And I don't fancy that. So moving to Liverpool, there's plenty of those sort of positions in the northwest all over, and it's much cheaper to get to places. So there's that. I can get to Manchester for less than the price it costs for me to get to London from here, and I'm not far from London. So everything works out better for us. This side of the Pennines is better though, of course. Crip, you're going to have to help me out here, because my geography, I know generally where the Pennines are, but whereabouts are you? Which is this side of the Pennines? One. Where if we have that problem, if you want to go out somewhere that's not really local, then we have to travel into London first, or Leicester stroke Nottingham. Yeah, that's the problem. Once you somewhere like, I mean, Chelmsford's a city. Technically, it's a city. It's Romford, which is down the road, which is a town. I would consider more of a city than Chelmsford. Yeah, I know where Halifax is. That's fine. Yeah, I'm with you now. Well, if you want to put me up, Cryptodium, we'll come and move to Halifax. So, would you be looking at private renting or housing or something? So, what we'll probably do is we'll put ourselves down on the housing list in Merseyside. Now, my son's got ADHD, diagnosed, possible autism. I'm still trying to get diagnosed and things like that. So we're not sure where we'd be on the list. We wouldn't be right at the very bottom. We wouldn't be right at the very bottom, but obviously we wouldn't be in category A. But we're going to put ourselves on the list, but we would be looking at private rental. And I'll cover why private rental and why it's better in Liverpool than I found down here in a second. Let me just answer a couple of these. Wicket in Yorkshire. Is that where you are, or is that where the Pennines is? I don't know. My geography's terrible. You could always move to Halifax in Canada. If I could, I would. I'll tell you a story in a minute about moving abroad. That always tickled me. Let me finish this and I'll get to the story. Remind me to tell my moving abroad story. Remind me. And Crip, you'll see what you can do. Good. Any spare room would do. I mean, we're cramped in here, so if you've got 2 spare rooms, that'll be luxury. Look, the Canada tour after the referendum. Yeah, I would have loved to have gone. But yeah, can't do it. So, private renting in Liverpool. We will not pass a credit check. We will need a guarantor for if we go through an agency, an estate agents. We will need a guarantor. That goes without saying. Fair enough, kitten. That's fine. Yeah, Yorkshire. I like Yorkshire. I like Sheffield. I really like Sheffield. But anyway, yeah. So down here, if you try and private rent, everything seems to be agency. They want you to pass credit checks, and again, our landlord was brilliant. We told her straight up, we're not going to pass a credit check. So she just wanted proof that our rent was paid every single month without fail, and all things like that. That we both had jobs at the time which we could do, and she was brilliant. But agencies just they don't want to touch you. They don't want to touch you. But in Liverpool, when we was looking, there was plenty of. Now I know this is going to be a risk. But plenty of landlords that weren't dealing with agencies. They was just doing it. Whether it was a second home or whatever, I don't know. But they was doing it. And a lot of them were doing low deposit, no deposit. Let's get you moved in. And no credit checks. DSS allowed. Now, I know that's probably a class thing because of the class difference between somewhere like Chelmsford and Liverpool. Chelmsford is very above its station. I'm not a Chelmsford person. I grew up on a council estate, and that's my people. I'm a council estate kid. So Chelmsford, I don't like it here. I feel out of place here. I feel my politics are out of place here. It's a very conservative area, this as well. So I feel my politics are out of place. I just do not fit in here. So it becomes a struggle. That side of it does become a struggle. So yeah, I'll fit in better in Liverpool. But there's options. You haven't got to go through the agency. And as much as I'd rather go through an agency for the safety net and stuff like that, our previous landlord up there, if we can get in touch with him, it'd be great because he was a private landlord completely, and he just did it all himself, and he was good. He was a good landlord. Bit lazy. Not lazy, but not very quick to get things done. But yeah. Is there a fair in Scarborough? There's got to be a fair. If there's not a fair, then Scarborough just doesn't deserve to be around. This is where I'm getting my songs mixed up, isn't it? But yeah, no, Liverpool's an option. And it's something we're really, really excited about. Nervous as well, but excited. So anyway, let me tell you before I get on to other bits. Have a quick coffee first, actually. Tell you a story about moving abroad. It's a few years ago. We were going up to a tournament, I think, a hockey tournament. It was definitely something to do with hockey, whether it was a tournament or nationals or something like that. But we was at a tournament, and we was all gathered in a hotel, and the discussion came about British ice hockey and the kids going to play for these teams and those teams. And at the time, Lucas was still young enough that he could have made possibly a career in ice hockey if he really wanted to. So I was talking about it, and I was just went, if he was going to do it, I didn't want to do it via British ice hockey. And I said British ice hockey's a mess. It's rubbish. There's no real career progression for them. Because the way it's run from top to bottom isn't great. It's just not great. There are improvements in certain clubs, but overall, the structure of British ice hockey is terrible. It's a sport that should be thriving in the UK. It really is, because of the excitement that it brings, but it doesn't. It lags behind, and there's no support. It's for a long while, it wasn't even recognised as an official sport. You couldn't get any help with it like you could other sports. Anyway, the mate's coming up, and he went, "Well, where are you going to go then?" I said, "Oh, well, anywhere really." And he went, "What? Where's better?" I went, "Well, look, even if you go across the water, France is better. France is a much better structure. You look, there's a number of French players that have gone to play in the NHL, much more than there have. I think we've had one UK-based player who's come close to cracking it, and that's about it." And I said, "So it's better. It's a better quality of hockey." And he came up, and he went, "Why don't you just go then?" And I went, "Because I can't afford it." He went, "Oh, of course you can. Of course you can afford it." And I went, "I can't afford it. There's no way I can afford just to up sticks and move my family to France just so my son can play a better quality of ice hockey. It's not possible." Anyway, I think he'd had a few drinks by this time, and the argument's going on and on and on. And he went, "Well, how much you got in savings?" I went, "Well, I've got nothing in savings. I don't even know what a savings is, let alone have any." And he's going, big bravado, what you could just move if you really wanted to, you could move. Anyway, how much you got? And I went, "Well, to be honest, I've got 60 quid left to my name to get through this weekend, and that's it." That's what we did to get Lucas to hockey, by the way. It was just last bits of our funds at any one point. This is before Edith as well. Anyway, you could do that for 60 quid, you get. I was like, really? You could get to France and set up a life for 60 quid. Now, I don't think I'm wrong in wanting to end that conversation, because he was adamant I could go to... If I really wanted Lucas to have a better career in ice hockey, I could take my 60 quid and move to France there and then. Is that possible? Chat? Everyone? Is that possible to move to France for £60? Let me know. You take up most of that budget getting the bloody train into London to get the Eurostar. So, I thought so. Oh yeah, you could have a nice day trip to France for 60 quid. Don't get me wrong. I want to know where these magical houses that cost less than 3 quid are. That cost less than 60 quid are, sorry. Anyway, yeah, big bravado. He was very adamant that, if you really wanted to do it, blah, blah, blah. But it kind of feeds in. I misread that, Wev, for a second. Good. I mean, it's good to know that I wasn't being a dick. Anyway. But yeah, it's just big bravado. We can barely get a takeout for 60 quid. By the way, talking of takeouts, if you are ever in Liverpool and you want decent portion of chips, like a really, really good portion of chips, if you want a good Chinese, it is just really, really good Chinese as well, may I suggest you head down to Egbert and go to Steve's. It's well known in the Northwest, and it is still possibly the best chip shop I have ever been to. It is amazing. The chippy chips, they've got a slight crunch to them, but they're still soft and fluffy. They don't go soggy. It's just really brilliant. The Chinese, I had right. We was going to go out for to what used to be known as the buffet style in Liverpool City Centre, but it's shut because of COVID and it's not due to reopen yet. So instead we went, do you know what? We'll go back to Steve's. We'll get a takeout from there. We'll eat in the car. We'll drive somewhere. We'll eat in the car. It'll be fun. So we did that. We went and got a couple of plain noodles, some crispy chili beef, and this. What I asked for chicken balls. And he went, "What flavour do you want?" I was like, "What?" He went, "Well, we do different ones." And he went through them all, and he went a salt and pepper chicken. I went, "What's the best one?" He went, "That one." I went, "Oh yeah, we'll try that." And yeah, so we had that. So we had the chicken balls, we had the chow mein, the noodles. There was rice. We had some chips with it. Anyway, noodles. Oh my god, the noodles are really good. They cook them with some soy sauces thrown on them, and they were feeling good enough on their own, just plain noodles. Crispy chili beef, it was bob on, absolutely bob on. I've had some crispy chili beef where I swear it's an overcooked twiglet rather than an actual beef. But this was sublime. But this chicken, they weren't chicken. They were and they weren't. But they were lumps of chicken breast, diced chicken breast, proper chicken breast, no processed shit in there. Diced chicken breast, smothered in this dryish sauce, and then with salt and pepper on it. And oh my god, it was good. It was so damn good. So if you're ever in Liverpool, go to Steve's. Try that. Try the salt and pepper chicken. Yeah, you cannot get gravy down here. But that's one thing I miss. I do like chips and gravy. Not mushy peas though, it's too green. Scraps isn't nothing. Do you know what? I've only found down here one chippy that when you go to them, do you do scraps? They go, yeah, rather than look at you a bit weird. Oldham. No, is it Oldham's? Not Oldham's. I can't remember what it's called. It might be Oldham's. But it's in Southend, and they do scraps. A lot of them look at you and go, "What do you mean you want the crap out the bottom?" It's like, I want scraps. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to dive you onto food. That wasn't the plan. But you know me by now, guys. You know me. Crip, if you want me to move in, we will move in, honestly. If you can put up with Edith. Yeah, no, I haven't had my lunch either. Egg mayo butty. I like egg mayo. It's weird. Wouldn't ever touch it at a buffet, but I do like egg mayo. Well, it is. It's the crap out the bottom. It's brilliant. There's always, do you know when you've got I don't want to do food because I'm starving. But you know when you've got like proper chips and you've got them in a bag and you bang, 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 and then they go, and then you get to the bottom and you've got the little smaller chips that are, they're scraps that have overcooked like this, crispy. Oh, that's the best bit. It's like a dessert at the end of a portion of chips. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Um, but yeah, there's a Tim Hortons in Warrington as well, so that's easy to get to. We bought some Timbits. That's a hockey theme as well. That goes with a hockey theme. Tim Horton used to be a hockey player, if you didn't know that. Fried lumps of butter. Do you mean like, is that what? Hang on, this sounds like it could be an actual thing. Because butter is the favourite food. Oh, yes. Yes. Chip butty. A chip butty. Oh, what's always weird? I've always, whenever I've gone somewhere, I try and pick up the local slang for different things. So I won't ever go up to like Liverpool and ask for a buttered roll. Or you know a sausage roll, or well, obviously a sausage roll, but not a bacon roll or a sausage roll like you'd get in a barm. If I go to Liverpool, I'll ask for a sausage barm, a bacon barm, an egg barm, because that's what it's known as there, and I learned that. And then it always weirds me out when I come back home and I completely forget myself, and I go somewhere and I go ask for a barm, and they look at me like I'm some kind of freak. No, that's fine, kitten. I really, 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 really want fried butter now. I feel that should be a thing. A thing that's probably exclusive to Glasgow. Um, but I want that. That'd be delicious. Because you can get fried, um, like fizzy drink. I've seen that. I know in like some of the apparently in some of the like the state fairs and that they do in America, in like small town America, they do like basically anything you want fried, anything. So if you can fry a fizzy drink, you can fry, but you can deep fry butter, freeze it, bit of batter in the fryer for a couple of moments. Yeah, there's a heart attack waiting to happen, obviously, but joyful. Oh, yeah, yeah, you probably can. It's the only way you'd be able to take their guns, isn't it? Is if they dropped them in batter. Um, we are not getting political. Calm it. Calm it, Crip. Um, a hard-boiled egg or a already fried egg? Or a raw egg? I'm intrigued. And while we wait for Wev to respond, um, because apparently we should be doing this. If you've got Twitch Prime and you want to use your Prime sub for me, please do go ahead. It's all welcome. And if you want a recurring sub, which I don't expect from anyone, apparently it's 30% off in September or something if you do a recurring sub. No idea what that means, but I got a Twitch partner email or Twitch affiliate email going, hey, people, your subs can all get it cheaper in September. And it was like, yeah, all two of them. Great. I mean, you could. See, I've often wanted, do you know a spring roll? Do you know a spring roll? And the pancake that's around that? I've always wanted to get a chip shop sausage, not a Savoy, chip shop sausage. Chip shop sausage, yeah. Wrap it in a spring roll pancake and deep fry that. And then a proper sausage spring roll. So yeah, if anyone wants to do September, that's what they called it, September, because every month's got to have a name now. I don't want to go into sort of like, oh man, back in my day, nothing had a name. But anyway, back to the whole moving thing and some of the other emotions I'm getting with it. I'm also getting a sense of guilt. um, which has hit me hard because I started coaching, obviously, Lucas's football team a little while back, as I've made aware before. And I've got to go to like the head coach at some point and say that this season's my last. And also, I've done a lot with those kids. I've made them good players. I've made them better players, and I've made them a team. It's a team where these kids they're not the most technically gifted when it comes to football, but they're a team and they get on and they win because they're a team and they work to what my plan is, how I want to play football, and they do that and they start to win games and they're good. I don't think I'm allowed to do that, Crip. I don't think your house is big enough, mate. Um, but yeah, I feel guilt that I'm letting them down because their old coach just walked out on them. So I don't know when's best to approach the subject. I don't know when's best to approach it and say to the kids that, look, this is going to be my last. Do I go now? And then what if it doesn't happen? What if there's a delay and we don't do it? Or do I leave it late? But then what if things happen quick and we can go like Christmas or something like that because things fall into place? I don't know. So I've got a sense of guilt with that because one of the things I hate doing is letting people down. I hate letting people down even when I'm not letting people down or it's not my fault or there's nothing I can do about it. So I don't know. See, the problem is, right, see, get them to Liverpool is great. A lot of them are shit the bed if they move to Liverpool. You got some of them have got like, they're a good bunch of kids actually, a lot of them, but you got a couple who are like proper like they think they're lads. They think they are the business. They what they get away with down here, yeah, it's nothing compared to what a little Scouse lad's like. Yeah, no, and I that's how I've looked at it logically, but it's trying to keep that thought within my head, because I will, I'll continue to get inside my head because that's what I do. Talking to Scouse kids, story my partner told me once, and I absolutely loved it when she used to live in Liverpool. If you go down to a Liverpool game on a match day and park around Anfield, the little scallies, anywhere ranging from about 8 to about 13, 14, whatever, they go round and basically anyone that parks up, it's mind your car for £1. Which is just give them £1. It's always funny when you see, I'll talk about this as a southerner, I'm like about southerners like I'm a Scouser myself when I'm Essex born and bred. But you see some southerners go up for a day trip and the Scouse kids surround their car and it's, here, mind your car for £1, mate. And you see them going, no, you don't, no, I don't want to give you £1 to mind my car. And you're kind of going, yeah, you probably should. You probably should just give them the £1. Because, yeah. But entrepreneurs, little Scouse kids, straight away, pocket money on a Saturday, innit? They're going round, the amount of people turning up with cars, mind your car for £1, yeah, then bugger off. However, one day, partner always made sure she had like some change on her when she parks up, because of that. Pretty much, pretty much. Anyway, she parks up. Kids come round. Mind your car for £1. It's like, yeah, there you go. Have £1. Mind the car. That's good. Goes to the game. Comes back. Car's broken into. Kids are all stood around the car. So the kids all stood around the car. She's like, oh, maybe they did mind my car. Anyway, she goes in. The car's been broken into. Kids are there. They went, really, really sorry. We went home for our lunch and someone's broken into your car. And they refunded her £1. Which I thought he said was absolutely brilliant. The little scallies have got better customer service than most actual businesses these days. They gave her back her quid because someone broke into her car while they was minding it. Obviously, she was pissed off the car got broke into, but fair play to the kids. She never did say whether she let them keep the quid or not, or whether she actually took it back. And yeah, car badge he sold, and apparently that's one of the reasons Mercedes got rid of the ones that stuck up from the bonnet. Well, to be fair, most of the people inside of the Mercedes are stuck up anyway, so they didn't need two lots of stuck up things there. Obviously, I'm playing to a stereotype there. I have nothing against Mercedes drivers. So yeah, it's just weird. My head's frazzled this week in a good way. I had a game set up and everything to play as well with this, by the way, and I never did. I don't know if you're getting any like background music. See, I never did that. I committed fraud in the 90s instead. I wasn't doing petty crime. I was doing blue collar crime. I used to deliver free papers for the Yellow Advertiser. And I'd do an half-assed job of delivering them. And every so often with the free papers, they'd give you like freebies to give out. And every so often, those freebies you had to give out with the leaflets with it all were really good. And I remember once, for me, it was like Jordan's Country Crisp when I was 13. That was like a posh people's breakfast. That's what the people with money would eat, is Jordan's Country Crisp, strawberry flavoured. So I was meant to deliver them with the papers, and we got a box that must have had about, I want to say, 1,000 mini boxes of Jordan's Country Crisp in them that we had to give out as samples. Yeah, I was eating Jordan's Country Crisp for a good long while after that, because those boxes stayed in my bedroom. I've done it with, we had to give out samples of shower gel. At one point I kept all those. I suppose it is thieving, that is petty theft, but it's more fraud. I'm going for fraud and laundering because I still got paid for it as well. So yeah, I didn't do petty theft. I tried to beat the system. Maybe this is my comeuppance. Maybe cheating on a paper round is why I don't have a nice big house now, and I'm stuck in a middle floor flat. Indeed. I find for the kids, because I looked at the stuff, I mean, even though I was bullied quite badly at a younger age, I still got up to things. Because the opportunities were there to get up to things. What are you listening to? Turn it down. I still got into trouble and did things that are particularly, let's say naughty. Because that's what you did. Now the kids can't do that now, and I feel for them. What? Oh, that. I was going to say, one, what is an £80 swimming pool? And two, how do you lose it? Now I want to know how you lost an £80,000 swimming pool. And please tell me your job had something to do with swimming pools. Like, rather than like you worked in a betting shop or something like that. Because that then makes it an even more interesting story. There we go. It just wasn't there. I mean, yeah. Someone just filled it back in. Crip. It didn't disappear. Someone just filled the hole in. Either that or you went out in the front garden afterwards. No, I'm meant to be talking, Edith. I've just been told to stop talking by my daughter. Brilliant. Mind you, did anyone ever work in a supermarket? Supermarkets were always good for low-level petty crime. Because you was allowed to write off a certain amount of food before it got looked into. Because honestly, the bread suppliers don't want their ripped open loaf of bread back, or their pack of bagels or open Philadelphia, and they don't want those back. They get allowed to get written off because they're perishables. So lunches, when I worked in Quick Save, would often be, what do I fancy? Oops, knife's gone through that. We can't sell that to the public. And get your lunches that way. I don't mind. Is this wrong a bit? I don't mind low-level petty crime. I don't think people should be punished for it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably making myself out to be a bit of an arsehole now. I don't know. Nice. That's a nice bonus. When Lowe worked at the Odeon, they get to see all the films for free, which was good. That was always good, and half price on all the food. So that was always a nice one. Oh, to be fair, yeah, that's great because honestly, best befores on ice cream. I don't think I've ever eaten out of date ice cream. I didn't even know it could go out of date. I work for a bank now and get nothing. You can't write off like £1 a day. Oh, where's that gone? Oh, don't know. We can write that off. See, it's amazing. It depends on the job, really, don't it? Where, you could cut open, I don't know, let's say a pack of biscuits in a supermarket and get away with having those because no one bats an eyelid. But skim £10 off the many, many, many thousands that are going through a branch, and you'll get in trouble for that. I remember that Virgin Megastore in Romford. A friend of mine worked there, and he turned round. He told us, he went, right, the games, they have alarms on them, so you've got to be careful. But they had one security guard who was about 80, and basically, if you waited until when he went upstairs, you could walk out with whatever because he couldn't get back down in time, and none of their cameras worked. We didn't, because I think going and stealing a bunch of video games directly is generally actual theft, and that's frowned upon. But he turned around because we was upstairs, and he came back and we heard the alarms going, and we was like, well, no one check it. And mate he went, no, not really. He goes, someone has probably just robbed something. But he went, I can't remember what the guy's name. We'll call him Jerry. He goes, but Jerry's up here. He's doing his round up here and he's not getting down to them by the time they've gone. So basically we have to let them go. He went bizarrely. No one steals anything when he's downstairs. It's only when he's upstairs that those alarms go. He's not. He's aware of it. Was old Jerry as well. That's just what I'm calling it. I had no idea what he was called. And he went. He goes. I don't know how much we actually lose any given month. But Virgin decided, or the manager decided within their infinite wisdom, that what they was losing in stolen stock still wasn't worth the wage to pay an extra security guard to come in. But yeah, I was tempted once. But yeah, they used to just stick their games out. Everything just had like a security tag on it. From what I remember of Jerry, is I don't think he even knew what day it was. Let alone thinking he's too old for it. So those are always the best jobs as well, by the way. Working in a video shop, cinema, game shop, I think back then, those were always the good ones. When I worked in the video shop, it was great because we'd be sent games a couple of days before we was allowed to put them out for rental. So I'd take them home and play them. Films, take them home, watch them. And it was obviously like, yeah, go for it, because, you know, you can tell the customers what they're like. So honestly, I don't think I paid to see a film for God knows how long when I worked in a video shop. And I kept doing, even when I got other jobs, I kept doing a 4-hour Sunday morning shift just so I could get the benefits. Because I worked out, I didn't care that I was only getting paid, say 4 hours, or 30, 40 quid, whatever it would have been, for that Sunday morning shift. I didn't care that's all I was getting, because I was getting hundreds of pounds worth of rentals. See, we was limitless. We was an independent videos chain. VidBiz, and we was taken over by Apollo in the end, who they had a few stores down London way. And yeah, see, we didn't have anything like that. That was unfortunate. We did have a Wimpy. Used to have a nice Wimpy, actually. I used to like going to that Wimpy. Wholemeal bun was always good on your burger. But yeah, I would work for free in a video shop, game shop, something like that, for a few hours a week, just to get rentals or trade it for a game. And actually, that brings me to something I've always thought would be a good idea. We could do away with money. We could do away with the need to work for money on a universal basic income. I wasn't going to get political, but this is something I've always had. Obviously, I know it's not just that like I'm going to solve it like that, and there's a lot of nuances. But give everyone universal basic income, enough that they can get by, they can pay their rent. Then, if they want to go out for work, they use that work to trade for goods. So, you know, I could go and work in mental health, not for the money, because I want to help people. But I can go and work in the mental health industry, and with that, I don't want to say credits as such, but the ability to be able to go, look, I've worked this many hours doing this. I need a new TV. Can I get a new TV? Oh, what have I got to work to go and get that new TV? But you've also got, if I get to a point where I'm content with what I've got at the moment, because universal basic income is covering my housing, my electric, my food, and I'm content with stuff I've got, that I haven't then got to work. I can live, I can enjoy my family. I can go out and do things, and then when I need to, I can start working again. Then all of a sudden, you haven't got unemployed or employed people. You've got people working because they need something or they want something, rather than they have to, because if they don't, they're going to be homeless. Also, another thing that came up, I think I mentioned it on the podcast. I was chatting with a partner about it. desperate for us to get back to work in London because they're worried about all these buildings being empty. I've got a great idea with all these empty buildings. What you do is you convert them all into housing, flats, whatever, just even rooms, and let people live in them so they don't have to live on the streets. Do you know what? Let them live in them for free as well, so they can then save up, maybe get their own place, get a job, afford clothes for work, afford travel. Use the empty buildings we have, shops, offices, whatever, give them to homeless people. Too much space because all the homeless people are housed? Fine. Convert them into smaller living apartments for smaller families or single people who don't need big homes, who don't need 3-4 rooms. So then the 3-4 room places are open for the people that do need them. I'm done with this whole idea that a man's home is his castle and all that bollocks, essentially. A home is something that should be just a place for you to live, to be warm, to eat, to stuff like that. The actual home side of it is who you're with. This feels like a home. This small flat feels like a home because I'm with my family and I love my family. But it doesn't because I can't do the things that I want to do with that family. If it was just me and my partner, this is ideal. Or if it was just me, my partner, and Lucas on his own, it's doable. There's many ways around it, and people have got houses they don't need. But anyway, that's going off into a completely different thing. There's so many nuances that it's not. I know it's not all blue sky. What aspect of mental health are you going into? Certainly criminology with the goal of being a criminal profiler. John, I want to work with kids. So if you're aware of my past, then that's great. If you're not, I was bullied badly as a kid. Tried to end my own life a few times before I was 16 because of the bullying. I've got no confidence in myself. Doing this is really as far as it goes. I'm not going to get on the dance floor. I don't try not to even sort of like dress in a way that brings attention to myself. So I lack complete confidence and belief in myself. And that all stems from childhood. And the fact is, it was grow up, mate, grow some balls, be a man, all that kind of thing that you got in the 80s and 90s as you grew up. And the fact you couldn't be poor in the 80s and 90s, which was a bizarre one. So I want to work with kids. I don't want kids to have to go through what I went through. And I want to be able to use my experiences to help them. Because I may come across as bitter at times, but I'm not. I'm not bitter at all. I just want to help. I want to help people. And I realise that doing this as well with that side of it, it's not just helping the bullied. It is helping the bullies as well. I'm looking at that side of it, but yeah, that's essentially what I want to do. I don't know exactly, but I want to go. I want to go and work with kids. Try and stop mental health being an issue by the time they're out. Not stop it being an issue, but as much of an issue, so they can learn to deal with it before they get into the quote unquote real world. You're hungry still? Give me 5 minutes to finish this off, and I'll get you something else to eat. Okay?
I have that thing when we have for dessert.
You can, yes. I'll get you a thing that you had for dessert.
Yeah.
Let me finish this though, okay?
I love it.
My time's nearly up. I've been warned. But yeah, it's to help kids start at the root, and that's where I want to sort of help. How I'll get into that, I don't know. But that's my goal. So, where isn't that what they're doing in Scandinavia? Yeah, it is. Finland done it, and there's a really interesting study came out of Finland with regards to universal basic income, because the big argument has been, and it's with the furlough as well and all that, in the UK and other parts of the Western world, the big argument has been... What? Go on then, go and get it and I'll open it for you.
That's the bin.
What?
That's the bin.
Move the bin. Well, so yeah. So what they showed in this study was people on universal basic income weren't discouraged from working. They want to work, and they was more inclined to try and find work. So it wasn't stopping them working. It wasn't like having an increase on unemployment, and it was actually having a benefit on mental health. So people were more motivated because their mental health was better. And stuff like that. It's what I felt on Universal Credit. So give me 2 seconds, guys. Give me all of 2 seconds. I'm coming. It's not in the freezer. In the fridge. It's the moose. There you go. You can stand there with it. Totally professional. But yeah, sorry, let's get back. So yeah, Finland has shown that it can work. So hopefully it is something that takes off. I've seen it work for me on Universal Credit, which isn't ideal, and I know it sucks in a lot of ways, but it's helped me loads. So I know it can work. I'm more motivated than ever that I couldn't be before. Yeah, except she went to the freezer. Right, let's catch up with some of this. Yeah, help kids deal with trauma, definitely, kitten. John, that's why I want to go into being a profiler. My childhood was very abusive. My dad had the be a man mindset, and if I didn't fit that, he beat me into be a man. Turn to find out he's now a diagnosed psychopath, so I want to stop criminals like him, hence the profiler route. One, Jesus, that's horrible, and I really feel for you, buddy. That anyone has to go through that. I never had a father, so I don't know what that side of it's like. And mum was great. Unfortunately, single parent, and we lacked funds. So that's horrible, but great that you're able to turn that around into something positive for yourself. And I really hope, that's something that works out for you. And please do share your experiences with how you're getting into that, what resources you're using, how it's all going. Use the Discord, join our Discord if you're not already on it. Come onto there, talk about it. Hit us up on Twitter, wherever. It's great. I'd love to know how that's going. It's one thing I found from my therapist. It's childhood trauma is a bitch, and it affects you in ways that you don't even think it would. Crying out loud, yes, it does. And it still does for me. So if I take the most basic example, I was sent to the army cadets to toughen myself up, and it didn't work. I'm not a tough man person, so I wasn't gonna say this because I don't think it matters, and it was something that doesn't matter. But I'm don't know how to class myself gender wise. Obviously, biologically, I am male. But I don't fit into any profile. I'm not manly. I'm fairly feminine due to sort of like having a feminine influence in my life, but I wouldn't consider myself female. And I don't think I fit into. I suppose I am non-binary, but I won't make a deal about it. I'm not going to turn around and sort of like if someone says anything like, if anyone goes, "Hey, Brad, you're a man," well, yeah, that's fine. I'm not bothered by that. It's just, hang on. That one. If you can see that, can you see that? That's our Discord. Unless anyone can get a link. So yeah, I don't even know where that chat's going. Yeah, so I'll go non-binary, but that's because I was brought up with, this is what you must be. This is what a man is. And you must be manly. Whatever it is. Don't cry. Oh my God, you're a girl. Stop being a girl. Stop crying. My mum would perpetrate that as well. But not in the negative way. In just that's the way she was brought up. Girls are quite not girly, but they act a certain way. Men have to be manly. Yes, that is what a man is. Um, and so yeah, there's that, and it affected me. I've never been confident with who I am or what I am. So I don't know. It's yeah, and it's why I struggle. If you notice when I talk, it's partly the ADHD, I think. Yeah, I need to do a lot of things on here with. I need to do a hell of a lot of things on here. Um, So, but yeah, that's all come from childhood. I still struggle. I still have to overly think about what I'm saying because I know I'll say the wrong things. I'll stumble over my words, and I still makes me stumble even more. And I try and explain my way out of things I don't need to explain my way out of because I'm scared that if I say the wrong thing or it comes across in the wrong way, then that's a reason for someone to bully me or beat me. You know, mentally beat me. Um, And I'll quite often, when I speak to people, go, I hope this doesn't come across as insensitive or I hope this doesn't come out wrong. I say that quite a lot because I'm so scared of what repercussions there could be. So, yeah. It's taken me till now to accept my curly hairs. I was bullied relentlessly for it. My own brother used to call me names because of it too. Yeah. Do you see this? That blonde patch? That used to bother me a lot. I'd get bullied for that. And I didn't know how to deal with it and what I could do with it. Now, I don't give a flying rat's ass now. But it did bother me as a child. And again, my appearance bothers me. I'm still worried about my appearance. You won't see me go to the beach and take my top off, for example. Because I'm not confident in my appearance. You know, I'm not muscly. I'm not fat. I'm just... Just there's nothing, no definition to me whatsoever. And I think as much as women have a body shape they've got to supposedly, adhere to be seen as attractive, and we talk about that a lot. That also applies to men as well. If you don't look like Brad Pitt or I don't know that Mike fellow who does that film. The stripper film. What's the stripper film? That with the Mike fella. Magic Mike. That guy. If you don't look like them and things like that, then no, it's not great. And if you're a fat bloke, who's a little bit unkempt, you're not seen as attractive and you need to spruce yourself up. And it's damaging. I get, and again, I get why women have eating disorders, why it happens, because it is horrible to have someone judge you because you've not got the perfect body, and what you see on TV and in magazines and advertisements, they're the perfect bodies. The difference is men do get told, if you see like on a newspaper, someone who's got slightly older and they've got a bit of a podge, it's the dad bod, and that's okay. That's now turned into something that's okay. But that's a level of okay that women don't get. But it's a level of okay that men are allowed to be. We can't be anything other than a certain way to be a certain thing. It's why I admire someone like Steve Buscemi. I don't want to turn around and call him ugly or anything like that because I think that's wrong. But he's not traditionally Hollywood beautiful. I think that's is that a good way of putting it? That's not insulting, is it? And he's just made a wonderful career. And he's never been typecast, I don't think, either. And I think that's wonderful. It's all of this because of that. I struggled as a kid. And that's made me sort of really body conscious now as an adult, even still. And I can't get over that. I can't get over that at all. And I really hope that didn't come as me going that whole, oh, women can have body issues, but men can't. Because, no, one does not, invalidate the other at all. And I'm hoping it didn't come across like that. So, yeah, I'm kind of losing my chain of thought a bit now. So, has anyone got anything they want to say or any questions they want to ask me, actually? Because I never really throw it open like that. Yeah, any questions they want to ask me before I jump off the stream? And I'm not doing a Channing Tatum Magic Mike dance before you ask. That's not the sort of questions you're asking.
Satisfying. Did you try? It's the best. It's called Summer Buster. Lots of mini games in it. And like basically you gotta make the perfect shot and get high score easily. And like, oh my gosh.
You guys are everything I ever wanted in a team. The exact opposite of my team.
But I've just got to reply to a couple of bits while I wait for you guys. If not, I'll end the stream in a minute.
99% human. Nevar, the opposite of Raven. Great attitude. Smiles a lot. Into spring fashion trends. Boy Beast, the opposite of Beast Boy. Smart as a whip and a real go-getter with the ability to turn into any boy in the world. And Aerothreats, the opposite of Starfire. Well, maybe not everyone is an improvement. Me put you in friend zone. Yeah, stay back. Now, tell me why you got rid of Nybor.
Nybor never always wanted to train.
Only eat the junk food and sleep. Me need structure. And do I?
That's all very good. Cool. Thank you very much for joining. No gameplay with this one. I did have, look, this is what I had lined up before we go. Look, ready? This is what I had lined up for today. This kicks in. It's going to play some Dicey Dungeons. So I might save that, do a... well, I'm going to be doing a 5-minute ramble on it, actually. So, just to clarify a few things that are happening with the site. Let's come back to webcam only so you can see my beautiful face. So, I've just started a new video series that's going to be called a 5-minute ramble. It was originally just going to be called 5-minute ramble reviews. But then I thought, not everything needs to be a review on a game. So it is just going to be 5-minute rambles about video games. So there's that. That's on YouTube now. We've got our first one for Bartlow's Dread Machine. Check that out. That is a really good game, by the way. It's out in early access, which is one of the reasons I didn't call it 5-minute ramble reviews. The first game I did is an early access game, so it's not a review. So do check that out. There's also a video explaining why I'm doing them like that and not going for super edited stuff. You'll probably see because editing that is not something you can really edit easily. So there's that. More written reviews from the other guys. We're going to look at doing some more stuff on the podcast. And I'm also looking to add more exclusive content to the Patreon. Nothing mental health related will be added to the Patreon. That's not going to ever happen, and nothing is gated when it comes to mental health chat. And that's always been my number one rule with regards to this. Anything mental health is available for everyone for free forever. So on the Patreon, we've got stuff like early access to podcasts, so it'll be like a couple of days early, the unedited version, should you want it. We'll start doing exclusive. We've got an after hours podcast that we'll do. That is aimed around just talking about pop culture things for the week. Just casual, off the cuff chat about that. So that's in there. I'm gonna start adding like a Patreon subscribers thank you tier as well. So that would be the bottom tier. If you want to donate or subscribe to that, and we'll look at other things. What I do want to do, if we do ever get to a point where I've got enough money coming in to once I've paid the servers and stuff like that, I want to start getting some merchandise possibly going. And what I'm going to do, and I'll probably announce it, but I'll say it here, is the first 20 subscribers I have at any tier on our Patreon, I will provide a small piece of merchandise to you for free. So the first 20 that join, I don't know what it'll be yet. It could be a t-shirt, depending on what that is. It could just be just a little something, some stickers or something. But I will provide something as a little bit of reward for the first 20 subscribers. So there's that. More on the Twitch. I'm probably going to tweak the schedule once I know what's happening with the kids back at school properly and how it all fits in. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining. Subscribe to this if you haven't already, or follow if you're not already. I know most of you are. As always, it's been a pleasure, and it's nice to know there are people out there who are willing to listen to whatever that is from here to there. Whatever that is, I'm glad there's people who are willing to listen and feedback. Do a raid. How do I do a raid? I don't know how to raid. Where do I do a raid? Crying out loud. Do with someone raiding me, actually. That would be really nice. How do I raid, Wev? I'll work out how to do raids properly. Not today. Ooh, that went blurry, did I? I'll look into that for next time. Cheers, Wev. John, thank you. No, thank you for joining. How did you find the stream, by the way? That'd be nice to know. How you happened upon us. Also, I probably should move the camera to like this screen here, because I'm looking over here for replies, but the camera's here. Yeah, she loves Teen Titans. Almost as much as she likes the Pokemons. Oh, that's brilliant. That's good. That's great to know, John. If you get a chance, follow us on Twitter. Join our communities. It's a great bunch on there. Great bunch. We've got a mix of our writers and sort of like people we know. And no judgment. Never any judgment from anyone. So I'm glad you found us. Really am. Always like to see the community grow in whatever way possible. What you'll find about me, John, and others know, is I'm crap at signing off. I do the, somehow without anyone else on the end, I do the equivalent of, no, you put the phone down. No, you, I'll put it down after you put it down. No, you put the phone down. So, yeah, that's generally how my sign-offs go. Yeah, so I'm just going to take my mouse. I'm going to move it over to end stream. I'm going to thank you all for watching. That's disconcerting. Oh. Anyway, I'm going to thank you all for joining, and I will catch you Monday, hopefully, when Edith officially runs the show. Goodbye.